So let's talk some more about senior horses and the ongoing conversation that we have with them about their quality of life and what their choices and preferences are. So, this is part three. And in the previous post, I talked about how Amigo had shared with me that he did not want to be locked away from the other horses. That was a game changer. But then he was finding that he actually liked having the safe space of being close to them, but not with them, because he can't move that fast anymore. So, because we know things with horses never stay the same, right? Just when you think you have it all figured out and you have a great routine, something changes. It just seems to be part of the nature of having horses. So, so Amigo and I have been in this routine where he's getting fed 3 times a day, and that looks like he eats in his safe space in the morning, and then he goes out for the day and takes a nap in the sun. I would bring him in around 3 or 4 for lunch, and then he stays in and would have an evening meal somewhere around like 8 o'clock at night, trying to spread it out as much as possible. And we've actually had that routine for a little while, and it's been working really well until I started bringing my boy Destin down for a lunch feeding with Amigo because he's getting a little bit too lean for going into winter. And so the other day, when I went to turn Destin back out at dinner time, Amigo's like, "Hey, I want to go." And I'm like, "You want to go where?" And he's like, "I want to go out and I want to go out with Destin." And it's like, well, Destin's going out in the big pasture with all the other horses, like for the whole night. He's like, "I want to go." And it's like, really? And so, sure enough, he just followed Destin and me out of the paddock area and into the big pasture. And he went into the gate and he stood there for a moment, like he was deciding whether he really wanted to do it or not. And then he walked off with Destin and he spent the whole night in the big pasture with the other horses. Now, in the morning, you can bet he was ready to come in and have his breakfast and take a really good long nap. But he's done that twice now, where he's wanted to be out with them at night. So it is definitely helping me with my flexibility and my ability to adapt to the routine that is never the same. So I love having animal communication as a tool to be able to talk with him and really understand kind of what he's needing. And, he enjoyed being with the herd. And, but, even though it meant walking up some big hills, the pasture has some pretty good hills. He enjoyed the companionship, and that's great. And if he wants to do that on occasion, then I'm happy to facilitate that for him. And it's nice to be able to have that conversation with him about that. Or if that wasn't a good thing, or maybe I didn't think he was going to be safe. And that's certainly one of the concerns I might express to him at some point, then we could talk about that and maybe even come up with a compromise. Isn't that cool? You can collaborate with your horse on a solution that works for both of you. So if you're finding yourself in a scenario with your horse where you're kind of puzzled or you're not sure what to do, or maybe you're just not sure if he's or she is happy and getting everything they need, then just message me and we can talk with your horse and find out straight from them. Take care.